Oh, hi everyone. I've just been outside in the rain. Hasn't it been raining today? My goodness, I had trouble doing my shopping today, keeping out of the rain. It's a very rainy day. It's been a raining week actually, and there's flood warnings all around. Have you been caught in the rain this week? Maybe coming home from school. It's been a very wet week and everything's soggy. Well, we're continuing our series in Luke, and we're up to Luke chapter 8. And guess what? In Luke chapter 8, there's a storm. Who would have thought it? So in Luke chapter 8, we see that Jesus has power. And we see Jesus has power in a different way than we've seen before. So in Luke chapter 8, we hear about Jesus teaching people about God. And he's teaching lots of people, and the disciples are listening because they're learning, because they'll be going out to teach people about God as well. And so after the crowds have gone, Jesus says to his disciples, let's get in the boat and go to the other side of the lake. Well, the lake wasn't a lake like here in the regatta centre at Penrith. It's not one of those lakes. It's a huge lake. In fact, it's more like a sea. It's called the Sea of Galilee. And so the disciples hop in the boat. Jesus hops in the boat. He goes to the back of the boat, and he's been teaching a lot, so he's pretty tired, and he falls asleep. The disciples, they start sailing the boat across to the other side of the lake. Now it's a beautiful day, very calm. Then suddenly a storm hits. Now the storm was even worse than what we've had. We've had quite heavy showers here, and we've had the wind blowing. It's come in my back door because I've had the back door open. It's come in the back door, had a wet floor. That's nothing like the storm that hit the disciples and Jesus in the boat. So it poured down rain. The wind was blowing, the waves, they were coming up really high. The boat was rocking from side to side. The water was coming into the boats. The disciples were frantic. They're trying to get the water out of the boat, and they're very scared. They're very scared because they think the boat's going to sink. And so they look around and go, Jesus is asleep. So they go and wake him up. And they say, Jesus, wake up. Don't you care? We're all going to die. And Jesus stands up and he speaks. He says, be still. And everything went calm. As soon as he said it, everything was calm. Now, I've been reading that story during the week, especially because my scripture class, we had that story this week as well. So I've been reading that story a lot. And when the storm hit here in Penrith, and I wanted to go to the shops, I thought, maybe I should say that. So I said, I said, rain, storm. know what? It didn't stop. But it did when Jesus said, "Be still," everything immediately went calm. Didn't work for me. It still rained, teemed down, and I had to get my brolly out and go to the shops with my brolly instead. The next part of Luke chapter 8 talks about a man that had some evil spirits inside of him. So that made him a bit crazy. He had so many, they were called legion. And he was a bit crazy. They had him chained up. He was out of his mind. But when Jesus came and saw the man, the evil spirits recognized who Jesus was and knew that he had authority to, if he ordered them out, that's what they would have to obey him. So they pleaded with Jesus and said, "Please just don't order us out into the abyss, into nowhere. Please order us into those pigs." And that's what happened. Jesus said, "Okay, go into the pigs." And that's what happened. The evil spirits went into the pigs. Now you'll have to read on to find out what happens next. Jesus just speaks and it happens. So he has authority over nature. He has authority over everything, just like God. Now in my scripture class this week, some people said, "Oh, that's because Jesus is magic." No, Jesus isn't magic. Because I can do magic. I can do some magic. Because magic is just tricks. Jesus wasn't tricking us. He really had power. He had power over everything. There's a song that says, "Jesus has the power over everything." And he does. He has the power over everything. So he has the power over nature, and he has the power over things that we can't see. So the visible and the invisible. He has power over everything. Just by speaking. Now, the packs will go home and you'll have some things to do in the packs that you can do. And also, you might like to play a game talking about speaking and doing what the person says. So there's Simon Says that you all know how to play. There's another game that Log On Live have been asking for every week. Every week they say, "Oh, can we play that not line game?" So have a line, make a line. You could make it out of masking tape, or you could make it from a rope or a mat, one side or the other. You could make it with a line of pencils. Anything to make a line. And then you stand on one side being on the bank, the other side is in the river. So there's one person that sits out the front that says, "On the bank, in the river, on the bank, in the river, on the bank, in the river." And the people, the other players, they need to obey what the caller is saying. They might trick you and go, "On the bank, on the bank, on the bank." You have to stay on the bank. If you go over to the river, you're out. So maybe you could have a game of that with your family at home. But that's the end of our video today. So hope to see you soon. Bye.